Number one, put God first. Put God first in everything you do. Everything that I have is by the grace of God. Number two, fail big. That's right. Fail big. Today is the beginning of the rest of your life, and it can be very frightening. It's a new world out there. It's a mean world out there, and you only live once. So do what you feel passionate about. Don't be afraid to fail. There's an old IQ test, was 9 dots, and you had to draw 5 lines with a pencil within these 9 dots without lifting the pencil. The only way to do it was to go outside the box. So don't be afraid to go outside the box. Don't be afraid to think outside the box. Don't be afraid to fail big, to dream big. But remember, dreams without goals are just dreams, and they ultimately fuel disappointment. So have dreams, but have goals. And understand that to achieve these goals, you must apply discipline and consistency. Hard work works. Working really hard is what successful people do. Number 3, I don't care how much money you make, you can't take it with you. It's not how much you have, it's what you do with what you have. Finally, and anything you want good, you can have. So claim it. Work hard to get it. When you get it, reach back. Pull someone else up. Each one, teach one. Don't just aspire to make a living. Aspire to make a difference.
If I had never dropped out, I would have never dropped in on that calligraphy class, and personal computers might not have the wonderful typography that they do. Of course, it was impossible to connect the dots looking forward when I was in college, but it was very, very clear looking backwards 10 years later. Again, you can't connect the dots looking forward. You can only connect them looking backwards. So you have to trust that the dots will somehow connect in your future. You have to trust in something, your gut, destiny, life, karma, whatever. Because believing that the dots will connect down the road will give you the confidence to follow your heart even when it leads you off the well-worn path, and that will make all the difference. I was lucky. I found what I loved to do early in life. The heaviness of being successful was replaced by the lightness of being a beginner again, less sure about everything. I'm convinced that the only thing that kept me going was that I loved what I did. You've got to find what you love, and that is as true for work as it is for your lovers. Your work is going to fill a large part of your life, and the only way to be truly satisfied is to do what you believe is great work. And the only way to do great work is to love what you do. If you haven't found it yet, keep looking and don't settle. As with all matters of the heart, you'll know when you find it. Stay hungry, stay foolish.
I had failed on an epic scale. An exceptionally short-lived marriage had imploded, and I was jobless, a lone parent, and as poor as it is possible to be in modern Britain without being homeless. The fears that my parents had had for me and that I had had for myself had both come to pass. And by every usual standard, I was the biggest failure I knew. I had no idea then how far the tunnel extended, and for a long time, any light at the end of it was a hope rather than a reality. So why do I talk about the benefits of failure? Simply because failure meant a stripping away of the inessential. I stopped pretending to myself that I was anything other than what I was, and began to direct all my energy into finishing the only work that mattered to me. Had I really succeeded at anything else, I might never have found the determination to succeed in the one arena where I believed I truly belonged. I was set free because my greatest fear had been realized, and I was still alive, and I still had a daughter whom I adored, and I had an old typewriter and a big idea. And so rock bottom became the solid foundation on which I rebuilt my life. You might never fail on the scale I did, but some failure in life is inevitable. It is impossible to live without failing at something, unless you live so cautiously that you might as well not have lived at all, in which case you fail by default.
Well, I would like to keep it very simple. I play cricket and all my devotion is towards cricket, and I know one thing: whatever is around me is because of cricket and not because of anything else. The kind of person I am, throughout my life, I've never tried to change myself. I've always kept it simple: be honest, devote yourself to something, and then be focused on that. So I think it's the ethics and the principles that really matter in life, and I've kept it really simple, so that has really helped me.
Knowing your limitation is more important than trying to strive towards perfection. That's for me. It has worked for me. It may not work for everyone, but as an individual you have to figure out what really works for you.
Process is more important than the result. The result is a byproduct of the process. But in today's world, we are so much focused about the result that we get away from the process. So take care of the process, take care of all the small things, and eventually you'll get the desired result.
Worry about the controllables, and whatever the controllables are, we take care of it, we'll get the desired result. If we don't get the desired result, we'll improve. We'll change our plans, we'll execute better, and we'll get a chance to prove ourselves again. So, that's what it is. Thinking about the result never gives you result. Yes, you may have a target in mind, but what is more important is to take care of the small steps in life, what needs to be done, what I am supposed to do, what extra I can do, and that will help us achieve the target.
That's what life is all about. Go through the difficult periods, fight it out, but if you can do it with a smile, that you'll become part of maybe the 5% persons, who can actually do it. Because at times we crib about life, about the tough period, but what's important is to go through the tough period. It's a tough period that actually make you a better human being.
Gates started Microsoft with his high school friend Paul Allen when Gates was still in his teens. Their investment, $1,500. Today, Microsoft's annual sales exceed $14 billion. It is the world's leading developer of software for the personal computer. And Gates is the PC's globe-trotting evangelist, celebrating its many benefits.
The key point there is you've got to enjoy what you do every day. And for me, that's working with very smart people. It's working on new problems.
One of my biggest memories of Harvard came in January 1975. I worked day and night on the extra credit project that marked the end of my college education and the beginning of a remarkable journey with Microsoft.
If you find an idea that requires 3 or 4 years of improvement and patience and really sticking with it, that we're very good at that. Take Windows, which we bet our company on. You can't just keep doing the same old thing you were doing before. You have to take your skills and attack the new frontiers. My best business decisions really have to do with picking people. And having somebody who you totally trust, who's totally committed, who shares your vision and yet has a little bit different set of skills, and also acts as a check on you. Some of the ideas you come up with, you run by them because they're going to say, hey, wait a minute, have you thought about this and that? And just, the benefit of sparking off of somebody who's got that kind of brilliance, it's not only made it fun, but it's really led to a lot of success. So picking a partner is crucial.
Success has made Bill Gates the world's wealthiest and perhaps most famous entrepreneur.